Hey, Shalawam, Shalawam. Shalawam, Shalawam. I know everybody probably watching the fight, right? But I'm going to get one in real quick before the main fight, come in. All right, so hey, first and foremost, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us his truth. And Shalawam to the Lord, told for elect 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yerami Kazak, back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kadash. All right, so I'm gonna quickly go through Micah, the 4th chapter. This one I was looking at yesterday, and just go through it. Hey, Shalawam, bro. So I'm gonna quickly go through it, because I know, individuals may be watching the fight and all of that. All right, do your thing. All right, so this is Micah 4:1. But in the last days, it shall come to pass that the mountains of the house of Yahawah shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow into it. Right? So that mountain, that's talking about the government of Israel. That's talking about our people, right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Now, let's go to Zechariah, the 14th chapter, and get verse 16. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall ever go up from year to year to worship the King, right? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. So, as we know in Zechariah 14:12, that final plague, let's read it. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahawah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Right? So, really, this is letting you know what's going to happen to these people before we take over, before we rule. We have that rulership. We have that kingdom. All right? And at the end of the day, they're going to have to come down, and they're going to have to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. They're going to have to keep the feast days. They're going to have to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. Right? And dang, I guess brothers is really watching the fight. Ain't nobody in here. All right, verse 2, Micah 4:2. And many nations shall come and say, Come, and let us go to the mountain of Yahawah, and to the house of power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahawah from Jerusalem. Right? So keep that in mind. Many nations shall come and say, Come and let us go to the mountain of Yahawah, and to the house of the power of Jacob. So that's once again telling you all these different nations, man. Okay? And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, meaning the law is coming out of Zion. It's coming out of the Israelites. And the word of Yahawah from Jerusalem. Jerusalem, once again, the Israelites. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So this word is going to go forth to the other nations, and they're going to receive it in a way where they're actually going to be able to hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? Verse 3, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. So no more wars. All right? No more, WW3 will be it. That's final. Okay? We're going to be in true rulership, true power. So no more wars. As it says, what did it say? Neither shall they learn war anymore. Verse 4, but they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of Yahawah of hosts have spoken it. So understanding that, Nobody is going to make us afraid. That's talking about Israel. Okay? Let's get a scripture. And what is it? Second Esdras. If I could find it real quick. This is Second Esdras 2:28. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith Yahawah. So they're going to envy us. They're going to want to be like us. They're going to want our power, want our position, want our authority, but they're not going to be able to do nothing about it. You understand? This is the situation that we're going into, right? So this is what's going to happen for us, man. Verse 4. This is Micah 4:4. But they shall, well, we read that. Let's keep it going. Salakia, verse 5. For all people will walk, every one in the name of his power, and we will walk in the name of Yahawah, our power, forever and ever. In that day, saith Yahawah, will I assemble her that halteth, and I will gather her that is driven out, and her that I have afflicted. And I will make her that halted a remnant, and her that was cast far off a strong nation. And Yahawah shall reign over them in Mount Zion from henceforth, even forever. So that's a gathering. All right? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is going to gather us all. The righteous, the ones that he casted out. This is Jeremiah 3:18. In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north, to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your forefathers. Right? Now, the land of the north is talking about North America. All right? Where we're at right now. Majority of us. So we're going to come out of this land, and we're going to be given back our inheritance, which is the land of Israel. And it will be a plentiful land. It will, crops and all of that will grow there, and we'll be in much glory and much power, man. And we'll have so much more, those many mansions. All right? So that's speaking upon planets, universes, all right? All this stuff out here that you can't even fathom, you can't even imagine. Okay? Keeping it going. Verse 8, and thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion. The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. Now, why doest thou cry out aloud? Is there no king in thee? Is thy counselor perished? For pangs have taken thee as a woman in travail. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. Right? Now this is letting you know, that's how you know that this Babylon is not talking about ancient Babylon. Okay? This is talking about going to America. Thou shalt go even to Babylon, because due to the time period of Micah. Right? There shalt thou be delivered. We were not, and also with that point, we weren't delivered from Babylon. After Babylon, what happened? What captivity? The Medo-Persian captivity. So we were not delivered from Babylon with Nebuchadnezzar and all of them. All right? So listen to it again. And thou shalt go even to Babylon. There thou shalt be delivered. There Yahawah shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. That's letting you know. Ancient Babylon, we went forth into more enemies. Verse 11. Now also many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion. But they know not the thoughts of Yahawah, neither understand they his counsel, for he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. They look at us as, low, the bottom of the barrel, whatever it may be. Okay. And that may be true for some of our people, because they're wicked. They're 2/3. They're wise to do evil. They surpass the deeds of the wicked, right? But that's not true pertaining to the remnant, the elect. We are the best out of Israel. All right, Yahawah Ratazah, we be of that number. Okay? So, as it says, man, let's read that one more time. Verse 12. But they know not the thoughts of Yahawah, neither understand they his counsel, for he shall gather them as the sheaves unto the floor. They don't know his thoughts. They didn't know why he put us in this captivity. They don't know why he had us in, slavery, in a low position for 350 years and longer than that. They don't know. They can't understand it because they can't understand prophecy. Verse 12, arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thine horn iron. All right, and I will make thy hooves brass. So this is basically your entire body. Okay, this is what it's talking about. Having a body like the Hulk, an undefeatable body. That horn, if you go into it, it's basically your chest, your container. All right, your body. Okay, so your body, man, your power, your strength, your vessel, right? So let's read it. Arise and thresh. And just in that, rise up and thresh. Thresh is to go forth with extreme intensity. To tread out, thresh. To tread on, trample on. To be trampled down. Right? To break, tear, thresh, tread out. Right? So having extreme power. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hooves brass. All right, your steps, your feet. And thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto Yahawah, and their substance unto Yahawah of the whole earth. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, right? So this is speaking about spiritual powers. I mean, ain't no other way to put it. If you don't believe, then you don't believe. But for those that do believe, this is speaking about us having spiritual powers. And furthermore, who is that us? That's the remnant. That's the elect. It's not everybody. 2/3 will not get spiritual powers on this side of the timeline. Now, when they come back as babies, yeah, they'll get that everlasting body. They'll have spiritual powers. They'll have abilities. They'll be able to fly, teleport, all of that. But on this side of the timeline, right, a 2/3 is just going to be a regular ass nigga, man. You know? He going to look at us and be like, man, that's them brothers, man. They calling on Yahawah. They over there healing people. They doing this. They doing that. And they going to be like, damn, I wish I would have served Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. I wish I would have got right. I wish I would have walked up to them brothers, man, when they was on the corner preaching and teaching and asked them what that was about. I wish I would have listened. But it didn't gravitate. It didn't stick to them. All right? They knew they was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Zebulun, Naphtali, Issachar, but they didn't really care, though. They didn't care. They aligned with the world more than they aligned with the scriptures, man. So that's pretty much it, y'all. That's Micah, the 4th chapter. All right. And it jumps, because some of these things jump in time. Like Micah 4:13, that's speaking about, us being, that could be speaking about Jacob's trouble as well. All right. Spiritual powers in that sense. And being strong and being powerful and all of that. But more so, it's speaking about us coming from those chariots with those everlasting bodies, man, and being indestructible. Okay? And going forth and fighting, because that's what we're going to be doing. Now, how I said it jumps, you can go back up in the chapter to understand this. And you go back up to verse 3. Let's read verse 3. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Now that's speaking about us being in the kingdom and these other nations being under subjection, right? No more wars. So that's what that's talking about. So you can see how verse 3 is actually going to take place after verse 13. Right? So you have to know how to, through the spirit and through the breakdowns, the proper breakdowns and the understandings given to us by the elders, and Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi that lifted them up to be able to break this down. Right? You don't read the Bible like everything's, what's the word, man, in order. No. This is why precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Okay? So that's Micah the 4th chapter. I hope that was edifying and beneficial. I'm going to get up off here. You know, I know brothers is watching the fight, and it's about to go down. So I just wanted to get one in real quick, you know. And Yahawah, man, possibly come back later on tonight. All right. If not, I'll definitely be live tomorrow. Okay. Did this girl just say sweet sleeps? Nah, you got to be muted for that. I'm sorry, sister. Hell nah. Sweet sleeps. Why you females don't need to be in the comment board, man? Look, matter of fact, man, we gonna have to address that. She said sweet sleeps. My guy. This is 1 Timothy, man. 2nd chapter, man. Hey, yo, control these women, man. What's wrong with these women, man? This is 1 Timothy 2:9. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Let the women learn in silence with all subjection. Okay? Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Look, if a woman coming to me, she ain't gonna be on no damn TikTok talking about some sweet sleeps. Hell nah. And hey man, I'm be honest. If it's just me and my rib and we going to the chariot and none of these other, I don't need them. I don't care. Women get on my damn nerves, bro. Because they be acting goofy like that. Just shut up, man. Me and my wife sit back and talk about this. Why do you women be talking in the comments, man? It's like y'all seeking attention or something. You want everybody to know, hey, I'm in here, brother. Shalom, shalawam. Hey, brother, do you see my comment? Hey, brother, you see my comment? Hey, brother, do you see my comment? I'm like, bitch, shut up. The fuck is wrong with you? You women have no damn order, man. No understanding. You need to actually open the Bible, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know it's funny, but it's not funny. I don't like the shit, bro. You know? Verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. This is what the Bible says. All right? This is what the Bible says. Not your ass don't need to be in the comments talking about some sweet sleeps. The fuck out of here. All right. Hey, with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up, man. All praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone. And Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes. All right. To the best of their ability. As always, Kwam Yasharahla. And a Baba ball to this wicked kingdom. May Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi destroy this bitch yesterday. Right? Exactly, and that's how it's supposed to be. Mr. AI Music, look what he said. Let's pin that. He said, my rib don't talk to any man without me there. Exactly. That's how it's supposed to be, man. You know? Don't talk to any man without you there. Right? Exactly. And that's how it's supposed to be, bro. Like my rib, she don't go in nobody else live unless I'm in the live. That's order. She learning from me. You understand? Or she'll watch the elders. That's fine. Because I'm learning from them. That's order. You understand? So it's an order that's how things are supposed to be done, man. You know? At the end of the day. So, hey, man, with that being said, shalom to you brothers and sisters, man. Shalom.